Right, how you doing? I'm out with the wifey and the doggo. It's a wild dar over there. It's times like this where I wish I had the shutter beep turned on. It's one of the most annoying things about this camera is that when you're in video mode, if you press the video mode button, it records. If you press the shutter button, it records.
Oh, wow.
So what I'm used to is you hit the record button, it records. You hit the shutter button, it takes a still using the settings you were using in video mode. So that's kind of annoying me. So I'll put it onto a stills mode and then I'm shooting video with it. But come out, want to get some bits done today, although right now I'm just enjoying a nice walk with the wife down at the marshes, you know. But I'm trying to learn how to use functions on this camera without using the touchscreen. Yes, I'm learning about green stuff, plants. So this isn't ivy, it's a pain in the ass. But ivy is, you know, important for blah 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 blah. It's like, ah! So much stuff to factor in. But it's neat at the moment because I'm learning, like, you know, I've took tons of shots, none of them are properly framed, half of them are badly exposed, but it's like, how do I get to the exposure bracketing feature? You know, how do I do this? How do I do that? You know, how do I do this without using the touchscreen? Because if I was using my Canon, I could press this button, then press that button, and then spin this around here, and I wouldn't have to look at a screen. I could just do it through the viewfinder. On this, I'm like, ah, crap. How do I do it? Because it seems very touch focused. Because there's a touchscreen on it. So right now, I don't even have the screen out because I don't want to become reliant on using a bloody screen. I've even spun the screen the other way around so that the touch screen isn't even like, I can't even touch it with my fingers at the back of the camera. It's just not a thing. So right now, like, for framing, I should be hopefully near the middle of the frame because I can see myself in the lens, which is, you know, ideally what you should be doing if you're pointing one of these things back at yourself. But don't start looking at the screen. Let's look over there or up there or down there. Look there at the lens. It's easy enough to do. Yeah, learning cameras today. Hi, Da. I don't know if they'll be able to see you very well because I can't see all that well in the lens. Look, it's Da. There she is. How the hell are we supposed to get down there? Probably going to fall to my death. But I'm having a fun time out of the house. I don't have a whole hell of a lot to do right now. And there are things I have to get done, but I want to kind of keep my head clear as well because my dad is now in the hospital. Have I missed the part? No, I haven't missed the part. I'm just going down. My dad's now gone to the hospital for the stuff for his back. What? Yeah, if whilst I'm filming this, if I slip and die, that would be great. Look sharp down. I had that issue yesterday. I was taking pictures of the sunset, and I was walking along the jetty, and my God, that was wobbly as hell. And I'm thinking to myself, there are times I wish I had my good camera, but you know, if I drop my good camera, it's weather sealed. It's not waterproof, right? It's not going to take a dip to the Broads very well. So if I fell, that would have been a pain in the ass. But if I drop my phone, well, near enough the second I take a picture, it uploads it with 4G to Google or whatever. So, not so much of a loss. You know, you don't really care about your phone. No. Best part about that phone is it was a gift. So I can't damage gifts. I don't mind if I take a dip in the Broads. It'll be embarrassing, but who gives a crap about that, right? Yeah. So just trying to keep the mind free, relaxed today. Because I said my dad's going into hospital for stuff on his back. I'm crossing fingers right now that it works. It's not a permanent fix, but
Charlie chose to lay down right now. He'd be very well camouflaged, wouldn't he?
yeah.
Apart from that bright yellow fucking colour.
Yeah, I don't have the heart to tell him it is wearing a fluorescent collar. But,
Dog can see me!
yeah, it's not going to be a permanent fix, but it should give Dad, you know, a better run for the next, hopefully, for, you know, the next 6 months or whatever, and then they can decide how to move forwards. Good luck. We came home to a Secret Santa, which was a vinyl of the day. British Steel, the rising force of British heavy metal. Now, I've taken a wee guess as to who has sent it. Inky's taking a guess, because I mean, it literally just came in a box addressed to Inky, and Inky's like, I haven't ordered anything. And yeah, I've got an idea. Taking a guess, as I say. But thank you. It's gonna be red. Oh man, I've gone and done it again. I come out here with the express purpose of showing people what Inky had hacked apart today. Right, she's doing more gardening, and instead I've been faffing around with the camera. I've not been happy with it. I took over 100 photographs today, and I think I've been happy with 4 of them, maybe, at a push. At a push. Oh, by the way, I was right. My guess on the vinyl of the day and the Secret Santa. Thanks, mate. It's appreciated. Inky called him up. I was like, no, I've got a funny feeling with the way that's worded. Thank you. Going to be listening to that in a bit. But yeah, I just wanted to come out and show this lot. So I don't know if this is even exposed properly, but hey, you can't see anything. Hang on, it's not actually that dark out here, but because I've got an ISO limit set on the camera, well, that's not even helping really. Inky's hacked all of this lot down as well, so all of the stuff from this part of the fence across has gone. It was trimmed. Although it was trimmed on the other side, but Inky was like, you know what, I'll just. She's had to do some extra bits and bobs to it to whatever, and she's just pulled it down. So, because the way it was cut, it wasn't going to stay as is. I'm not a gardener. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So Inky's pulled it all down. Yeah, I'm still struggling to get to grips with this fucking camera. Oh dear. So there's another update. Got the kids from school. Had good days. William saw his mate Jesse, so they got to hang out in the playground for a bit. And Dad's back from hospital. He's all right. We don't really know. As yeah, I won't look big old surgeries like injections to stop some pain that Dad was having. I know some other folks that have had to have them over the years, and they can be a bit hit or miss. And if they don't work, then generally surgery is recommended. And whilst it's recommended, it's not ideal. You know what I mean? It is your back, it is your spine. But we're now having to wait for the anaesthetic and that to properly wear off, and all the painkillers to wear off, to see if it's worked. But fingers crossed, you know, and if it works as it's supposed to, Dad won't have to go back into hospital for another 6 months, maybe. I hope. Christmas play costume for Theo. He's a penguin.
I don't think this looks like feathers.
No, I don't have battery in the GH5. Genjiro Run. First Genjiro Run on Samurai Showdown on the Google Stadia. Yeah. Stadia! That was close. Alright. What about me? Inky has provided food. What about me? I don't know if this is actually working, if I had to be honest, but you know how I always say that? Most of my day has literally been wasted looking at photographs I took with this camera today. I said earlier, there were literally hundreds of them, but just the focus just wasn't there. You know, it's like, oh, we are focused here, but it wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. Maybe the focus was a little too broad. I hadn't said like this specific bit here. It's not to say that I've never taken a bum picture in my life, but you know what I mean? I was a little bit more too reliant, I think, on the technology. I've done it before. I've done it with this. I've done it with my Pentax Q, although I was a little bit more cautious with my Pentax Q. And I much prefer manual focus on my Pentax Q to the GH5. I've taken tons of bum pictures with this. When you get a good picture, it's fucking beautiful. But like I said, I was trying to just learn different controls and stuff on the camera. I think maybe some of the exposures just didn't come out how I wanted them to for the multi-exposure brackets. Like the ones that were set for like the overexposed images for a high dynamic range image just came out too noisy. I don't really know if the software I was using was particularly happy with the pictures either. Darktable on Linux. So I just, and plus I'm not very good at using Darktable on Linux, but I'm much more of a Photoshop Lightroom guy at that point when it comes to photo editing. But I was just hoping that it would nail focus more times than not, and it didn't. And a lot of people joke that Micro Four Thirds, especially Panasonic cameras, you know, they're like, well, they are using contrast detect autofocus, so it probably will miss a ton. No biggie. But I was just a little irked. You know, I would have had some gold. I did get some good photos today, but I was expecting for maybe a few more. But so. And it turns out there was actually a firmware update. It said on the box, which is downstairs right now, oh, new autofocus firmware, and I had heard there was another firmware that had come out to improve autofocus on this camera a bit more. And it turns out I was actually using the last autofocus update firmware, which was 2.4. I'm now on 2.6, I think, which only came out this month. Last month. No. November. It came out in November. Inky's birthday. It came out. So that should make things a little better. I like this camera. I really like it. It's such a learning curve coming from Canon for me. I am so used to the way Canons work, and I know what I'm going to get from my Canons. Just so when I move over to Panasonic and the menus are so different, they're not hugely different, and principles of photography are always going to stay the same. But it's just thrown me off. It's really thrown me off. And right now, I'm sure it's taking great video. The audio's not great because I haven't got a microphone on and I'm sat like literally 3 miles away from the camera. I can see that it's focusing on my face right now. Just sometimes it decides it doesn't want to. Plus I do have a bit of a hideous face, so yeah. That vinyl was fucking rad. That's what I want to lead into. So British steel is usually like British metal that came out in like the 80s. Okay, so Sabbath was considered part of the British steel movement back in the day. In fact, one of my favourite records, one of my favourite tapes, albums, compilations, was Metal Hammer's Best of British Steel, and we have that on vinyl coming through the post soon because I have it on cassette somewhere. I absolutely love Metal Hammer's Best of British Steel. It was the compilation tape that got me into metal. You know, I had Lawnmower Death on it, it had Sabbath on it. I remember when Clerical Conspiracy Track 2 hit on that tape, I was just like, metal music is what I want to listen to. You know, this is the genre that I'm going to stick with. And the album that came through the post today, the Secret Santa album, again, thank you, it blew Inky's mind, by the way, because it was so colourful and it was on white vinyl. She was like, fuck man, it's on white vinyl. I was like, yeah, it's pretty rad, huh? It's very much the same stuff as like back in the 80s, but they're new bands. They're newer bands doing it, like bands formed in like the 2000s, like 2002 to 2012 kind of thing. It's the old style with new faces. You know, people who grew up with that music, you know, or people who were kids when that music was out, have now made bands to play that kind of music, which was ace. It's a fucking good album, by the way, very good album. I'm probably actually going to rip it when I get a chance and pop it on my DAP. Randomly speaking of soundtracks, so I've been playing Samurai Showdown today. I got the perfect ending for Genjiro, and then on stream up here on the lower end connection, a little bit more delay. I felt like there was a little bit more delay. I managed to get a perfect for Humaru, a 1 credit run. I almost crapped my pants to find out that this game's soundtrack, Samurai Showdown 2019, or the reboot Samurai Showdown game, the soundtrack is on vinyl. It's on vinyl. You can get it on vinyl. It's like $40 from the people who press it, which is mental as fuck. It's ace. But I really want to get it on CD so I can rip it and put it onto here. Maybe one day get it on vinyl. I'm a bit sad that my collector's edition of Sam Show didn't come with it. Like the Neo Geo shaped box set came with less art books but CD soundtracks. I think I'd have preferred the CD soundtrack to the art book, but also weird that you can get the soundtrack on Amazon. I think it's on Spotify. Like you can listen to the music on Spotify and on Amazon Music, but you can't on Google Music. I don't get that. I don't understand why. Because there are some services where literally just press a button and it will share it to like share your music to Deezer and Tidal and Spotify and Amazon Music and Google Music, but for some reason everyone just seems to miss out Google Music. Please don't do that. It annoys me. Especially games companies, SNK, come on, and Falcom, please get it sorted. But then I'll just go out and buy the CD if I can get hold of it, or import it and rip it and put a higher quality version up on my Google Music account. So, you know, whatever. Crap. I've gone and forgot what it was I was going to talk about. I'm sure there was another track other than photography and being a complete knobhead that I've messed up on, or that I forgot to finish off. But whatever. I'm going to head off. I'm going to quickly noodle on the bass for 5 or 10 minutes. I had hoped to have got all this done before Inky was ready to crash out, because she's got an early day tomorrow, bless her, back at work. So, hope you're well, and I'll see you all with a bit of luck tomorrow. Guys, actually finished the things that you were talking about. I don't fucking know what they were. Lay off, eh? Give me a break.